To answer that question, I have to go back in time a little bit. I think it was about 3 weeks ago on a Sunday, and I was doing really bad in terms of my depression because I had a lot of negative thoughts in my mind, and my mind, or actually my thoughts, had more control over my mind than that I had control over my thoughts. So it was getting worse and worse. Actually, the day was pretty bad, and then during the evening, it actually got to kind of a boiling point, and then I felt so bad that I thought, okay, I have to get these feelings out somehow, because if I cannot control them, at least I have to release them. And out of instinct, I started to browse through my computer for a instrumental, and I found one, that had a really moving piano, and one that really fitted my mood at that time. And so I chose to write to that beat. And the reason I wrote it because I needed a way to release my feelings, and I also wanted to kind of tell everybody how I was feeling and what I was troubled with. So yeah, that's actually the reason why I wrote it. Yeah, sure. It really was heavy to record, but how do I say this? I was so in the moment, and that's how I felt, that I didn't care that I was writing about death and that I wanted to die at that moment. So, I mean, at that moment, it just was how I felt. So that's the reason why I could write about it. And that's also the reason why the song sounds like it sounds, because I literally started recording it the same day that I wrote it. I think I wrote the lyrics in 2 hours, and then I started to record the first verse that same night. So yeah, these feelings are purely what I felt at that moment. And sure, writing and talking about death isn't fun, but if that's what's on my mind, then that's what goes into the song. Yeah, I really thought about it for one moment. I was like, okay, am I going to release this? Am I going to record this? And then, okay, I recorded it. Then the song was done about 3 days later. And I was like, am I going to release this? Because if friends or close family members see the song, then they might be scared that I'm doing really bad and that they get even more worried than they perhaps already are. But I decided to release it anyway because I felt like, this music is also therapeutic for me, and I want to share it with the world. And I don't care about what they might think, because these are my feelings right now. And so I went on and released the song anyway. Yeah, what these lyrics mean is that at that moment I was like, you know, if I can be taken away, please let it end, because I can no longer take this. And I always visioned that, if there is such a thing as heaven, then I vision myself laying on a soft bed and then, being taken away by the angels towards the heavens. So that's why that's in the chorus. And yeah, I understand the chorus in itself is pretty intense as well because, yeah, you don't literally talk about death, but of course you reference it again, and you also, literally express like that you want to end it. In the verse, like you notice it, but then when the chorus kicks in, I understand if you're like, oh, okay, so he's serious right now. Yes, I think in terms of recording the song, I think it was one of the most intense and hard songs to make ever. I mean, I made songs about these feelings before, but since I am much more sophisticated with my lyrics now and the way that I deliver things, it was a lot more, I don't know, it sounded a lot more convincing and it sounded deeper than what I did before. And I noticed that when I was recording, even though I just poured all my heart into the track and let it out, I knew that it was going to hit home for a lot of people because, as I said, these are my raw emotions, and I knew like, whoa, it means that with this new level of lyrics and with that new level of delivery and chorus writing and delivering that, I knew that had a lot of impact. And especially when I said, that I felt stuck and that there was no progression, I almost had moments, where I just wanted to stop recording and just cry, but I didn't do it. I just kept on going, and I made the song. But yes, I think "Take Me Away" is one of the hardest songs that I've ever written and recorded.